Hey, what's up everyone? Today this is going to be kind of an interesting video. There is quite a cult following for the Laney AOR amps, and I have a 6 knob and an 8 knob. I've never really seen a very good shootout between these two amps, so I thought that's what we do today. Now we're going to quickly go over some of the differences between these two, and we're going to get into the sound samples. When we get to the sound samples, we're going to do it in a mix. In a mix and outside of a mix. We're going to start with the in mix, and it's going to be, what we're going to do is we're going to do like a mid-gain type sound, see how they compare to each other. And after that, we're going to boost it with like an SD1 to see, how they do in a metal environment. We're also going to do fuzz on the low input, which is like the cleanest channel. And at the end, we're going to do something different with this one because this one has an extra gain stage than this one. So you'll get to hear this basically by itself because there's no extra gain stage. So I figured I would just show that while we're doing it. So now let's get back into the specs of these amps and how they're different. As far as your EQ, they're basically like the same. You have your preamp, you have your bass, middle, and treble, and all of these, they're push-pull. They want to kind of set them and forget them because from what I understand, these knobs are impossible to get now. So if you break one, you have to put a toggle switch on it or leave it where it is. So anyway, presence, bass, middle, treble. Push-pull for a boost. Master volume, preamp volume. Preamp volume is like your gain. So then you get to the 8 knob AOR, same thing. Presence, bass, middle, treble, boosted. This is where it starts to get a little different. You have your master volume, but then you have preamp level 1. Then you got preamp volume 2 and preamp volume 1. Now, I feel like I understand what they're doing. They were trying to stick to kind of that old Marshall type of idea when they were, designing this, but I feel like there's some confusion around this for some people. But anyway, so preamp level 1, if you are going to kind of use the two channels together, you really need to crank the level so that if you're going to use the high gain and then kick into the higher gain, you don't lose volume. So basically, I just keep the preamp volume up, so when I switch between the two, the volume stays where it should be. Preamp volume 1, which is the furthest one, is it's weird. It's like preamp volume is 1 here, but you think it would be here and then 2 be there, but it's not. They're backwards. Anyway, preamp volume 1 is the same as preamp volume on this, so it's your lesser gain of the two. And it's still got a lot of gain on tap, but it's the lesser gain of the two. So then you can either kick a foot switch or do the let's see, where is it at here? You can do the pull on preamp volume 1 to engage preamp volume 2. The other thing about that is preamp volume 1 and preamp volume 2 are cascaded. So even when you're not in super AOR mode, because they're both AORs, when you're not in the second high gain channel, you're still getting some gain from preamp volume 2. So that's something to think about when you're dialing this in. So when you're hearing the tones, I'm going to try to set the preamp volume 2 to where the gain sounds the same level of gain. So anyway, that's the front. The back, you have a pseudo effects loop. These are older models. What I've understood from reading and talking to people online, some of the newer, well, they're all old, but the ones that are newer than the ones I have, they fixed the effects loop. Mine is a line level loop. Later on in the series, they put an actual instrument level loop in it. You have your ports for your cabs, and that's basically it. Low sensitivity, high sensitivity. So low is your clean, high is your distortion. So let's go ahead and get started. And by the way, while we're here, if you could like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, I'd appreciate that because I love doing little shootouts and demo things like that. I'd appreciate it. Okay, so that's been all the sound samples. Let's quickly talk about it. They are very close, like
identical.
Very, very close. People seem to talk this one up a lot. Mine has new tubes and new caps in it, so that may account for the sound differences you're hearing between these two, but they're very, very close. I feel like this one, a little bit more punchier, a little bit more aggressive. This one's a little bit more spongier and not as tight and aggressive as this. They're both very, very noisy. They are hella noisy amps. The pull boost on the bass, I'm using AORs, but if you were to use a cab, when you pull this pull boost on the bass, like your volume is gonna boom, like jump really high. So just know, like the first time, if you've never tried one of these and you get one and you pull that pull boost, you better be ready for a volume jump because there's gonna be a huge volume increase. And all together, when you start pulling the boost, you bring in some more gain, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, I always find myself gravitating to the 6 knob because I don't really use the high gain, extra gain stage on the 8 knob. I prefer to set it crunchy and boost with pedals. So I prefer this one for its tightness. Don't need that gain stage. Overall, I wish this one had the Tolex, because this one has better Tolex. Nothing to do with sound, I'm just nitpicking now. The Tolex looks better on this one. Front panel's a little darker. Like, basically this one looks newer than this one. Like, whoever had this one must not have used it as much as whoever had this one. Which could maybe explain the fact why this one sounds better. They were more happy with this one, so they used it more often. Anyway, getting off on tangents. I need one more Laney. I'm lying, I need like 10 more Laneys. I just need one more Laney. No. I need 2 more Laneys. I need a GH50L and an Ironheart. I will trade somebody this 8 knob for a GH50L if you have one. I'd rather trade for a GH50-100, but I will trade this for a Laney GH50. I'll see you guys in the next video.